tails basically was partly because if they hadn't had a single big tail in the middle like a lot of other aircraft you see, it would have been too complicated. Originally designed in the early 1940s. So do you know who it was designed for?
Who?
Howard Hughes. So Howard Hughes is the eccentric billionaire. He owned an airline called TWA, and he wanted a plane that could fly from one side of America to the other. Lockheed built the original Constellation, which was a little bit shorter than this. And it was built, designed by a man called Kelly Johnson. Okay. So Kelly Johnson became very famous for some secret an American aircraft, so the U-2, SR-71, the first stealth fighters. They were all designed by what's called the Skunk Works, which was a secret design organisation.
And these engines here, when they start, they puff out smoke, don't they?
A lot of smoke comes out.
It is so cool, right?
It is very cool.
Another one, just blue.
Play Super Constellation, everyone.
So Qantas flew Super Constellations in the 1950s, ideally we would have been able to get an ex-Qantas aircraft, refurbish it, but that wasn't possible. So this aircraft was found in America, so in the boneyard. This aircraft was found, and this is actually a military version of the Super Constellation.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is a military freighter version of the Super Constellation.
When did you say, when was this built? In the 40s, eh?
Originally designed in the 40s, but this one was probably built in the 50s.
50s, okay.
So for over a few years, in the early 1990s, HAAS HAAS members went over, they restored the aircraft, and in 1996 it was flown back to Australia.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And it's been flying ever since. Yeah. In fact, this aircraft was flying only a couple of weeks ago.
Is it? Okay.
It is the only flying Super Constellation in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. The Americans, there's another one in America currently being restored, and it is the original Air Force One. It was the one that was used by President Eisenhower as a VIP aircraft, and
That's
with the first time that the call sign Air Force One was used.
Yeah.
So that is currently being restored in America, but at the moment this is the only flying one. So internally in here, we've put some seats in that look like an airliner, but these are not original. These are not from the period, and they're not. They didn't come with the aircraft. We've just put these in to make it look like.
Okay.
Look like an airliner.
Seats are a bit wider than the ones we use these days.
Yeah, no, I
Look like business class.
I think they are business class.
Right, you can see the engine.
So you've got the propeller there.
So you've got your two pilots in the front. You've got your flight engineer.
Johnny, you wouldn't be able to do this job because you wouldn't fit in that bed.
And here we've got a navigator.
Oh,
okay.
So that's something you do not see on modern aircraft. So this is the days before, electronic navigation age. So you've got to have a full-time navigator. And he navigates basically the same way that Captain Cook did. So he's got to look at the stars.
Yeah. Yes.
And so there's his sextant over there.
Yeah.
But because you can't stick your head outside, obviously, that sextant, see the silver bit there?
Yeah.
It's a periscope. It goes up through a hole here.
Okay.
And
that's
so he
cool.
sticks it up there, and then he can look at the
Navigate
stars.
the stars.
Yeah. Take all his sightings and come back and do all his calculations. Yeah.
Did Johnny look at the cockpit?
Sorry. So I assume those numbers as well was to help him navigate or something.
I think that's just relative bearings from the aircraft.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it has any. I'm not sure that they used it actually.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, and you know, it was going to take you, 4 days to get to London.
Wow.
You know?
And that's it. Sydney, Darwin, Singapore, India.
I'm flying to the UK in November, and I think I'll be going from Sydney straight direct to London.
It'll be a long
And we're
It
actually
will be a
following
long
behind, so
flight.
Yeah, so
we take 4 days.
these days, if you go on QF1 to London, you'll get there in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, we were like 20, 22 with the stopover in Sydney.
So you're going from where to where?
So Canberra, Sydney, Sydney,
Yeah.
London.
Yeah, so there will be a stop halfway between Sydney and London. Do you know where you're stopping?
Well, I'm not sure because we were told that it's direct.
No, yes, it's direct, but you will be stopping somewhere.
It'll probably be Singapore.
What airline are you going on?
Qantas.
It'll be Singapore.
Yeah.
Most
yeah.
likely Singapore. Yeah.
It'll be a long flight. That's going to add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go direct Sydney to London yet.
Yeah,
You will
that's
be
too
able
far.
to in 2025
You reckon? Okay.
because the Qantas is buying the Airbus A350,
Okay.
which will do London
Yeah.
to Sydney direct,
Wow.
and then you can also go London to New York direct.
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
I actually
Because
But-
the LA flight, that's a long flight. It's
Mm.
like 18 hours as
Yeah.
well.
And-
it's not fun.
I actually went on the A380 from Dallas to Sydney,
Yes.
and it was a long flight indeed.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like your typical. You get that butterfly feeling in your stomach
Yeah.
when as it runs on the runway.
Yeah.
It didn't feel anything like that. It just felt like it was taxi.
Yeah.
It was so big that you couldn't even feel it.
Yeah. I think Qantas's longest flight at the moment is from Perth to London.
Oh, okay.